To talk about, and we begin this part of this broadcast with the statement made by the president following what had happened in the country in the aftermath of June 25th, the spree, the wave after wave of abductions, extrajudicial killings and the denials by the government. The president spoke after a lengthy silence in the county of Homa Bay on the 27th of December 2024. Was it if all these pleas and decries have not been heeded and no outcome out of it, why haven't you considered resigning?
Thank you, Ayub, because this issue of abductions and extrajudicial killings is indeed one of monumental concern to not just myself, but to many Kenyans. And as I spoke on that day, I just put myself in the shoes of those mothers, fathers, relatives of those that have been abducted, some released, and others found dead. Okay. And I imagined what pain they have been going through. On that day, I met some relatives of those whose bodies had been found at the city mortuary. I could see the agony in themselves. And then I imagined what they had been going through for the period that their loved ones went missing, without trace, with nobody giving any indication as to what was happening. Some of them saying, for instance, Ayub, that they had visited the city mortuary with photographs of their loved ones, so that in the event that the bodies would be there, they could be alerted. They would visit, 1 or 2 days later, they even find that the photographs have been removed. It's an extremely agonizing situation. And I felt that, and I still feel, that this matter is one that requires a very candid and open discussion by the topmost level of government. Because we cannot normalize this kind of abnormality. It is so illegal. So, let me just say this, Ayub. Sometimes in 2023, I was requested to appear at a function at the United Nations headquarters in Nairobi, where Kenya pledged, among other things, to end enforced disappearances. So even as I went through these motions and I spoke about this, I also felt that I was also carrying a burden. That meeting I went to, I was requested through a letter to go and represent His Excellency the President. So the commitments that I was making there were not mine, were not personal. They were commitments by the government of Kenya. Forced disappearances. It's the same as these abductions, people disappearing. So surely, it's an extremely agonizing situation for me. And I believe the parents and all those relatives and friends must also, even some of them up to now, must be going through a terrible, terrible situation, experience, very, very painful.
And at the time when you headed to the UN headquarters, you were the Attorney General.
Indeed.
The President's chief legal advisor.
Absolutely.
And these things have not stopped yet. No stoppage to these abductions, extrajudicial killings. Why then just offer your resignation?
Ayub, I consider it morally wrong for me to resign, because I am speaking about constitutionalism. I am speaking against what we, as Kenya Kwanza, when we campaigned, promised Kenyans would never happen at our watch. And therefore, resignation for me would be an act of cowardice. People wonder, what kind of person is this one who sees a problem, doesn't speak about it, and merely walks away? It will look very cowardly on my part. And I think for the young people of this republic, I would be letting them down by resigning.
Okay, and you have, going by your proclamations, been placing yourself in the line of fire and provoking the appointing authority, your boss, the president, to fire you. What if that happens?
You know, when I took the oath of office, I was acutely aware of the provisions of Article 132 on the powers of the hiring authority to hire and fire. But, Ayub, if I am fired for speaking against abductions and extrajudicial killings in this country, which is unconstitutional, and which we, as a government, campaigned and very vehemently, repeatedly vowed that it will never happen at our watch, so be it.
Okay. Let's come back to the pre-election agreement that you had, and we'll be getting back to the statement your party actually issued. When you were getting into this agreement, you knew the persona of the then Deputy President, Dr. William Ruto. I mean, there are a lot of inconsistencies in what he said and what he's doing at this time, including his union with the ODM party. If you knew the person at the time as the Speaker of the National Assembly for 10 years, why did you engage with him politically?
Well, let me say that I have known President William Ruto for even slightly beyond the time that I was Speaker. Because, as you all know, he came to Parliament after the elections of 1997. I came in the by-election of 1999. So, and we have known each other. I have not known President Ruto, or even as Deputy President, as a person who would renege on anything that he promises Kenyans. Yeah? And therefore, we have worked together. When I was Speaker, he was a Deputy President. And you remember, I mean, I don't think whether it's anything that he ever did that showed that President Ruto will not keep his word. I'm not saying that he hasn't kept, but you see, I am raising issues that I say, Mr. President, let us discuss these things. Let us find out from Kenyans what is happening. Can we have something similar to the commission in South Africa, where people, those who have been victims, their relatives, can come forward publicly and speak what has been happening, what they have gone through. I remember, Ayub, not too long ago, some of them were on this bench, and listening to them, it gives some very, very, painful experiences. And I think it would be a good thing if the country could agree to have something, an open inquiry. And I'm not saying that that's the only way, but that's my proposal. I have said it before, remember in my statement at Serena?
Yes.
That this is my proposal.
Okay.
I have not received any counter proposal from any quarter. And therefore, it's only fair that I continue talking about this and saying, look, we cannot allow the country to move in this direction. I said it is not good for the country. We cannot be killing our youth, because the youth are the future of the country. Because we could be doing all manner of other things. Yeah. But Ayub, if we continue this way, we are going to create a lot of despondency in the country.
Okay. And paragraph 4 of your statement in that January, you said, I have personally suffered as my son Leslie was abducted and disappeared. I wasn't sure whether he was alive or dead, making us anxious and leaving me, my wife, and my family in turmoil. Give us an account, a recap of why Leslie Muturi, your son, was taken.
I have no explanation as to why he was kidnapped by hooded people armed with the AK-47 rifles. he recorded a statement at the Kilimani police station with the DCI. Nobody has come forward to explain why it is that he was kidnapped.
Yeah.
And when I raised this issue in my statement, the only thing that I saw was a challenge thrown at me, which confirmed something that I had always been told, that the matter is still under active investigation.
Okay.
Yeah? Now, being a matter under active investigation meant that it could not be discussed. So the challenge that was thrown to me was, come on, this matter is under active investigation. In fact, you should go and record a statement with the DCI Kilimani. Remember, that statement came in the evening of that Sunday. I stayed on Monday. I thought that maybe the people who are challenging me to record a statement were not serious, or maybe they had acted emotionally. So I didn't go on Monday. I thought maybe they might have made a mistake. But when I waited the whole of Monday, Tuesday I decided, let me do my statement. Because under statement to the police, as you know, is actually evidence. And therefore, I gave a blow-by-blow account of what I knew and happened, and all the people that I contacted. If you read through my statement, you would see